on to rules, confirmations, and public elections. It is 5:18. We're running a couple of minutes behind. We do have quorum here with myself, Councilmember Cash, Councilmember Druffel, Councilmember Lee, and Vice Chair Preti. All right, I do have a consent agenda. Yes, I do have a consent agenda. I'll read off the number. If you need to pull anything off of consent, just let me know. So RS 2024-235 by Councilmember Suarez, Webb, and others. Honors the life of civil rights leader King Hollins. RS 2024-236 by Councilmember Stiles. Honors DeWanda Coleman on the occasion of her retirement from News Channel 5. RS 2024-237 expresses appreciation to the Metro departments and agencies who assisted Nashville and Davidson County through the recent winter storms. And the last one is RS 2024-238 by Porterfield, Toombs, Gamble, and others. Recognizes February 2024 as Black History Month in Nashville and Davidson County. Does anything need to be pulled off consent? All right, can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, 5 in favor, 0 against, 0 abstentions. All right, next is a late filed item by Councilmember Cortez. Is he here?
He's not here, but I'm here, signed on to.
Okay. An ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Law, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing R40 to RS40 zoning for various properties along Cloverland Drive, west of Cloverland Park Drive, all of which is described herein. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
Councilmember Gamble, can you talk to the late file of nature of this ordinance?
Actually, I'm going to let Brett speak to that, but I'll just say that Councilmember Cortez couldn't be here today, so I have signed on to the bill to make sure that it goes through as accordingly, but I'll let him speak to it.
Yes,
Former Councilmember
Thank you,
Williams.
Madam Chair, if I may be recognized. This is an application that Councilmember Cortez,
I think it's Cortez, but
Okay.
4 years ago it was
Councilmember Mike C. He had requested this through the council office. It is one of his council-sponsored rezonings. He did have at least one community meeting about it. He did file it. It was timely filed. We had a little bit of with myself in this new role, and I have a letter deeply apologizing, but between myself and the council office, we're not sure who files what. So
Human error.
That was a human error on my part, and I did reach out to the council member to ask if he is okay with the deferral, if he would like to do a late file to keep it tracking with what he'd already communicated to constituents. He indicated he would like to do the late file to keep it tracking, and so he, and especially I, beg everyone's forgiveness for that human error that led to the late file for this one.
Got it. Okay.
Staff error, I'm sorry.
Staff error.
It is the Brett Withers error.
Yes. It was former Councilmember Withers' fault. All right, so don't want it to wait to track with what constituents are told.
He would like it to go ahead and track so that it'll have a planning commission hearing later this month and then the council public hearing beginning of March.
Yeah, I'll just add that he had a community meeting, and these developments came out of that meeting, and he assured his community that they would go into the amendments into the bill, and so he wants to make sure that happens to track along with the plan.
Got it. Okay. Any concerns, questions? All right. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, bills on second reading. I guess I could have put that on consent. BL 2024-152 by Councilmember Suarez. Amend section 2.22.040 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws regarding the Board of Ethical Conduct is moved. Councilmember Suarez here. I'll go. Okay. All right. Director Darby. Do you have any information on this?
I just was gonna look that up real quick. Give me a second.
Meanwhile, can I get a motion?
So moved.
This is going to extend the time that the board's advisory opinions are filed from 30 days to 45 days, and extend the time that the Department of Law can issue their report from 14 calendar days to 14 business days. Minor changes.
Okay. Any questions? Councilmember Lee?
Just what is the time change impact?
It gives the board a little bit more time to do the review, and it gives the Department of Law a little bit more time to do the review.
Okay, that's extending the time. Does it impact anything else? You know, sometimes we don't look at the ripples. Is it something else that it?
I don't think so. I think the length of time for the Department of Law really just goes from what people probably expect, which are business days as opposed to calendar days. Because, you know, 14 calendar days is really 10 business days. But the 30 days to 45 days is just an extension of 15 days. I don't know what that would
Anything
impact,
else that it
except a
might-
waiting period for the entity that is before the board
Okay.
person.
Sandra?
Yes, Councilmember.
I'm just curious if it's something that the Board of Ethical Conduct asked for, or if it's something that Councilmember Swore just felt, do you know the origin?
I don't, sorry, I can
It's not
find
major,
out.
I just was curious.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. All right, on to elections and confirmations. First one up, and we already have a chair, perfect. Agriculture Extension Board appointment of Ms. Barbara Devonry for a term expiring on February 6, 2027. Hi, yes, please sit here. I left the WeGo cards in my desk. You got some. All right. First test, would you like a parking validation or a bus pass?
Parking validation.
We shall judge you from here.
If that was a test, was that a pass or
How
not?
did I do?
We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Do you currently live in Davidson County?
I do.
Do you serve on any other boards and commissions?
I serve on the Beautification and Environment Commission as well.
I think you're good. All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving?
Well, I am really interested in preserving our environment, and I think the Agricultural Extension Service does a great job of that. I've actually taken the Master Composter course that they offer, and also took the Master Gardener course, and I was president of Tennessee Conservation Voters, and I just have a really long history of trying to do good for the environment. Captain of Route Nashville, neighborhood tree captain. So, and I talked with Angie Henderson about it, and they have a new director, and they've got a new vision. She has a new vision for what she wants to accomplish, and I'd like to help make that happen.
Great. Thank you so much. What's the new vision?
Pardon?
What's the new vision?
I don't know yet. I have to talk to her, but Angie said she had, she wants to do a lot more pollinator gardens in the city. I think we're just trying to work toward people eliminating grass and putting other native plants in so that we can preserve our environment.
Great. Well, thank you for your willingness to serve. Any questions from committee members? All right. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right. One last question. Will you be able to attend the meetings? We're having trouble with quorum on some of these boards and commissions.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's really important to me.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, Agricultural Extension Board reappointment of Ms. Gigi Drumright.
She can't be here, and so we need to request a deferral on that.
Okay. Can
Move to
I,
defer.
yes, can I get a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed, any not voting? All right. 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting on a 1 meeting deferral. All right. Next is the Civil Service Commission reappointment of Mr. Ethan Link for a term expiring on March 31st, 2029. All right, bus pass or parking validation?
Parking validation.
Ooh.
I know.
All right. Do you currently live in Davidson County?
I do.
Do you serve on any other boards and commissions besides the one you're being reappointed to?
I do not.
All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving again?
Absolutely. I've spent about 15 years in representing workers in Nashville and Davidson County and the surrounding counties for a long time with multiple employee groups, and so it's given me a perspective on the kind of issues that face working Nashvillians. I currently serve LIUNA, the Laborers Union, which is an infrastructure and construction union. So we don't ever have issues that come before the board, but I understand the issues that workers face in the city. And so one of the things that we want to be over my time there at the board is we've worked to make Metro not just a choice employer, but an employer of example to other employers in the county, and I think that we've achieved that largely. Our goal is to make sure that people get fair discipline, and also that we have a pay plan that compensates employees well and keeps us competitive with the market. So those are the things that I've learned a lot about over the 2 terms that I've served. We've got great people on the board, and so I'm just eager to continue my service and happy to answer any questions.
Great. Any questions? Yes, Councilmember Cash.
I just want to say, I think I've worked with Mr. Link on a number of things over the years, and think he's does absolutely look out for workers and their rights and their needs. I will add, I've written down the phrase "employer of example," which I really like. So I encourage his approval.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Will you be able to continue meeting the schedule commitment?
Absolutely.
All right. I do have a question. I know that we've had some issues recently regarding, certain items that have come before the board. I just want to know if you would be able to commit to equity throughout the board with whatever item comes before you.
Absolutely. We've got a great team on the board, and we have a great working relationship with Metro HR. And, I think that you'll find that particularly some of the folks that I serve with, we have a team that values equity and in all forms that takes. So I'm very happy to talk more about that. But and folks can always contact us, or our information is on the Metro Nashville website in case folks want to send their public comments, and I believe we now have a public comment period, so we really invite people to show up and participate.
Great. Thank you so much. Can I get a motion?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right. Any opposed? Any not voting? 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next is Metro Action Commission appointment of Ms. Erica Barnett for a term expiring on February 2nd, 2027. Parking validation or bus pass? Just so y'all know, it's a parking validation. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Do you currently live in Davidson County?
Yes.
Do you serve on any other Metro boards and commissions?
No.
All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving?
Absolutely. So I'm Erica Burnett. My professional career has started and is currently living out in Nashville. And what has been consistent is that the populations that I've worked with have directly intersected with, their needs have intersected with Metro Action Commission, as well as various gaps in just their own ability to thrive in our community when we think about sort of where government systems support or exacerbate some of those issues for, especially for the youth in our community and their families. As I am working with populations both in a direct service capacity as well as supporting organizations that are increasing the capacity of these same families, we advocate collectively for them to step into spaces where decision making is being made, for them to advocate for their own needs, to make sure that they're able to articulate what they expect even of the government that is supporting them. And so I feel it's only befitting that I also step into a role that allows me to have a level of influence and impact, especially where my professional expertise has already sort of been saturated in that space.
Great, thank you so much for that. Any questions from committee members? All right, are you going to be able to meet the committee schedule?
Yes.
All right. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, up next is the Nashville Education, Community, and Arts Television Board, reappointment of Mr. Mark Brown for a term expiring on February 5th, 2027. Mr. Brown, would you like a parking validation or a bus
I
pass?
would love a parking validation.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
right.
do you currently live in Davidson County?
Yes.
Do you serve on any other boards and commissions
No.
besides this one? Okay, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving again?
I am a local screenwriter and producer. Also work with the Catalyst Story Institute. We do networking educational events for local people in the industry, and we're also partners with the Nashville Film Festival. We handle the episodic portion of the Nashville Film Festival, so that's like television pilots. Work with the High School Media Collective. We're a group out of LA. We are working to bring industry speakers into local high schools. Also, we're partners with Black Magic Camera, so we're hoping to be able to do some things with equipment for the schools. Been on the NECAT board for 2 years. Love it. Think NECAT can be a central hub for growing the local industry, and I'd like to keep doing it.
Great, any questions from committee members? Will you still be able to meet all
Yes.
the meeting schedules?
Walt will make sure that I come.
Okay. All right, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? All right, 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not
Thank
voting.
you.
Thank you. Next up is the Nashville Education, Community, and Arts Television Board, reappointment of Mr. Walter H. Lewis for a term expiring on February 5th, 2027. Mr. Lewis, would you like a parking validation or a bus pass?
Neither. I have a card for the lot.
Okay. All right, do you currently live in Davidson County?
Yes, I do.
Do you serve on any other boards and commissions besides the one you're being reappointed to?
Metro boards or any board?
Metro boards?
No, no. other.
Okay. All right, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving?
Well, I'm an attorney, local attorney. I've been representing artists in TV, film, entertainment, music for about 10 years now, it's a decade. I also help creatively run a production company with a partner of mine. We do a lot of marketing for NASCAR, ESPN 30 for 30. It's a different, bunch of different things in the city, and we're actually working on a campaign for Make It in Nashville currently, where we'll be able to shoot content around the area to be kind of a beacon for the small artisans and people that are in the city that actually have like real ties to the city.
Great. Any questions from committee members? All right, will you be able to continue to meet the meetings requirements?
Yes.
All right. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, up next is Tourism and Convention Commission appointment of Mr. Robert E. Higgins Jr. for a term expiring on June 30, 2026. Mr. Higgins, would you like a parking validation or a bus pass?
I'm gonna go bus pass.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to switch it up.
All right. Hey, and if we see you out there grabbing the other one, we're gonna know. All right. Do you currently live in Davidson County?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you serve on any other Metro boards and commissions besides the one that you're
No, ma'am.
potentially going to be appointed to? All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving.
Well, I went to Tennessee State University, graduated. I started doing events while I was in college, so I've always been big on bringing people together throughout Nashville. So within that, I opened a music and comedy club in Nashville called Jazz and Jokes, and on 3rd Avenue downtown. And from there, I've opened 8 different hospitality businesses throughout the city that have, pushed and brought people together, even tourism through inside of Nashville. Currently, I just opened a restaurant in Hillsborough Village on Belcourt Avenue called Supper Club on Belcourt. And when opening that, we had the opportunity to get the building next door. It used to be called Cabanas. We opened it. It's called Bungalow 10 now. And we opened that 2 weeks ago. And we converted it into Bungalow 10 into a restaurant as well. And now we are opening Jar Cocktail Club, which is the back side of Bungalow 10. And our grand opening is Friday, the day before my birthday. So I think that want to continue to try to drive tourism and drive people together throughout Nashville. So I've been doing it for so long. I want to continue to do it and serve in this capacity officially.
Thank you. Did you say aquarium or Aquarius?
Aquarian.
Okay.
Aquarian.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay.
Let me start singing.
Yes.
I just want to say Belcourt's in my district, and I think I've had a conversation
Yes.
about the supper club. We're excited about it, and
Thank you.
reach out if there's anything I can help.
Thank you. I live in that district as well.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Any
Appreciate it.
other questions from committee members?
I have a question. Let me ask you something. All of the things, it sounds like you've done a lot of fun things. So out of all the things that you have done and getting ready to move forward, what are some things that you have learned about some of the other ventures you have done that you're going to take forward in where you're going now as it deals with dealing with your human capital and your human folks that you're working with, if anything?
Yeah, so this process has taught me, I think this process has been the most strenuous process I've been through in my life, because we opened 3 spaces simultaneously at the same time. And throughout the process, people used to always tell me, God doesn't put more on you than you can bear. You got to be able to bear with, you're able to do it. But after going through it and now going to the finish line, I realized that God does put more on you than you can bear. But He puts it on you so you can depend on Him to get through it. You have to bear through Him. You have to depend on Him to get through it. So I knew I couldn't bear it, but I had to find faith throughout that process to depend on God to get me through it. So I did. He did put more than I could bear, but my faith in Him helped me get through it because I wanted to quit so much. So in dealing with people, I can definitely show people how not to quit and how to get through valleys and hills and mountains because I did it.
Thank you. Yes.
So one thing that a lot of people will take note of is just like the reputation that Nashville has across the state and across the nation as being music city, and how really we have the perception of just being centered on sort of white experiences, Broadway, and bachelorettes. Obviously, you bring a completely different perspective, or you would bring a completely different perspective to this. But if there was some kind of interpersonal conflict between you and somebody on the board who had differing views or differing opinions on the direction in which we should continue to take Nashville and tourism, how would you try and deal with that interpersonal conflict?
So it's first hearing about. I've learned I have a lot of employees, so I have to always look at their perspective. I want to hear your perspective. Why you say what you say, how you feel, and in hearing your perspective, I want you to also take the time to hear my perspective. The things that I've dealt with, the battles that I fought, and the things that could help me or those that look like me grow as well. Because it's not just I always believe in business. I always tell people I want to have a business that's exclusive, inclusive, not exclusive. So it's just like in the city as it grows, I want to have people have a more perspective on inclusivity throughout the city. You know, so that's my biggest thing. That's what I push and fight for. But I'm also open to hear other people's perspective because their reality is just built off their perspective. So they're not wrong, but maybe you can open them up to look at things from a different eye lens.
But let me ask you, there's been some concern from community members who live around some of your establishments and your interactions with them. Do you care to comment?
I wouldn't know exactly my interactions with the community that surrounds me. I will say that I have been 65%. I guess that since I've just opened, we're talking maybe must be North Nashville. 65% of my business comes from the community. I have done everything from turkey to toy drives every year. I have done everything from tornado relief when the tornado happened in North Nashville. I started the Buchanan Business District to bring all the businesses together in North Nashville. I opted to put trash cans in North Nashville community. I met with Metro government when I was opening my business to try to beautify that area. I think that the residents that's been there, I hire within my community. All my employees come from within the North Nashville community. So I will say that it may be new people that may be moving into the area that may not like not just my business, but any businesses on that street because it may not fit with what they want. I'm not sure, but I speak with them open-minded. Only issue that I can say that anyone that has ever said anything about my business has been about parking. But since parking or noise, we do live music on Thursday, but we've rectified the noise and parking. There's 5 businesses on the street. I guess we're one of the popular ones, so it becomes my issue. But I can't, I don't really, when it comes to parking, I try to tell my guests where to park. I have deals worked out with Slim and Huskies that they allow us to use our parking lot. I got the lot next to us to help us rectify that. But as far as the community, I feel like we hire within, they support us. Those that have been there, 2 of my managers lived in North Nashville community for 30 years. So I feel like I have a great relationship with the North Nashville community. I put street lights up all around my business because I couldn't get them put up from the city. So I said, I'll pay for them. I paid for them to get them put up. I mean, I fight for my business, but I also fight for that community because I'm a product of the community.
So, and I appreciate all of that explanation. So if you are an example of a Black entrepreneur,
yes, ma'am.
Obviously, and you've done so much work throughout the community and for the community. So when you are going to be put on this board, you're going to be held as an example, right? And you might get more scrutiny. So let's say that there are still community members with concerns. Are you open to meeting with them, the council member, MMPD, whoever we need to meet with, just to make sure that any concern is addressed? And
yes, so I held 2 meetings for the community in North Nashville, 2 meetings where I wanted to talk to whomever, whatever issues were present with anyone in the community. I passed out pamphlets to everyone from 8th Avenue all the way down to DB Tye. Every house, me and my staff walked around, passed out flyers. We held it at the North Nashville Police Precinct. No one showed up. One person showed up. And I don't know if that's the young man, the man who had been, always complaining, but it was only one person. I begged the community to show up. They said, why would we show up? We don't have a problem. we had 2 meetings with the police department, and it was recorded live. The police chief was there. The business leaders within the community was there. My whole staff came. Nobody from the community came except one person. And it was promoted for 2 weeks.
All right, can I get a motion?
Second?
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, that is it. Just a reminder on Nashville Connect, is that Council Connect, whatever it's called now? Yes, there is a question that was put on there. If I could get feedback, that would be great. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.